Hello, Mount Calvary, and welcome to your Friday devotional. Again, I'm Victor Tim, the new vicar here at Mount Calvary, and we're continuing our walk together through the Psalms. Today, we conclude the week with Psalm number 10. And whereas the other Psalms this week have all had little inscriptions saying they're from David, this Psalm does not. And one of the reasons why is that some scholars believe that this psalm is actually a continuation of yesterday's psalm. That Psalm 10 is just an extension of Psalm number 9. And we're going to see some common themes. The main one being, why is God so hidden here on earth? And this time, like we talked about yesterday, it's easy to forget that God is real and God has done so much for us. In this time of brokenness, social upheaval, anxiety, and sickness, and fear. And so today David looks at this issue of God's hiddenness by looking at two people. The first is going to be the non-believer. And as you look and hear what David uses to describe this person, you might think of people that you hopefully pray for, and people that unfortunately we're sometimes envious of in our own brokenness. And then the second person is going to be the believers, and how David describes believers is a little humbling. But we'll dig into that after we hear the psalm. Psalm 10. Why, O Lord, do you stand far away? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? In arrogance the wicked hotly pursue the poor. Let them be caught in the schemes that they have devised. For the wicked boasts of the desires of his soul, and the one greedy for gain curses and renounces the Lord. In the pride of his face the wicked does not seek him. All his thoughts are, there is no God. His ways prosper at all times. Your judgments are on high, out of his sight. As for all his foes, he puffs at them. He says in his heart, I shall not be moved. Throughout all generations, I shall not meet adversity. His mouth is filled with cursing and deceit and oppression. Under his tongue are mischief and iniquity. He sits in ambush in the villages. In hiding places he murders the innocent. His eyes stealthily watch for the helpless. He lurks in ambush like a lion in his thicket. He lurks that he may seize the poor. He seizes the poor when he draws him into his net. The helpless are crushed, sink down and fall by his might. He says in his heart, God has forgotten. He has hidden his face. He will never see it again. He will never see it. Arise, O Lord. O God, lift up your hand. Forget not the afflicted. Why does the wicked renounce God and say in his heart, he will not call to account? But you do see, for you note mischief and vexation, that you may take it into your hands. To you the helpless commits himself. You have been the helper of the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked and evildoer. Call his wickedness to account till you find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The nation perishes from his land. O Lord, you hear the desire of the afflicted. You will strengthen their heart. You will incline your ear to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed, so that man who is of the earth may strike terror no more. We have this great contrast of David's. First is the non-believer, the one who thinks there is no God, yet has a bunch of worldly success. This is the one who the world tells us we need to model ourselves after. And yet, David humbles us believers. He calls us the helpless, the fatherless, the weak, the oppressed. And we know this is true. There's a reason we begin every worship together in confession. Because we know we don't do what we want to do, and we do what we don't want to do. We're helpless. We're sinful, broken creatures, and no matter what we do, that won't change. And see, in this broken world, it's easy to forget all God has done for us. But in this broken world, we, the helpless Christians that we are, know exactly where to look. We look to the cross of Jesus. Because at that cross, the helpless become the victors. Those who can't stop sinning join with Christ in his victory. And those in the world who have worldly success, if they have no faith, that means nothing. But us helpless ones who know how broken we are and know how much we need Jesus have the true success. We join in that success with Jesus over sin, death, and the devil. And that is an unbelievable gift. And we know exactly where to look for it in this world where it seems God is hidden. Because God is very visible. He's visible on the cross.